for BFF there, the London LGBT Film Festival. It's a pleasure, a real pleasure to be here tonight for such a wonderful film, and a pleasure to welcome Connor and Niall to discuss it, so please join me.
Just so you know, there's an Easter egg that's going to come up and people all laugh when it comes up, so it won't necessarily be what we're saying. So.
Do you want to cue it?
You can take the boy out of the country.
First of all, congratulations. This is, I think, the fourth time I've seen this film, and it still manages to make me laugh and cry within the space of seconds, which I think is quite a rarity for a cynic like me as well. I know you mentioned in your introduction that Niall first introduced you to Panty. Talk a little bit, if you can, about those early years and how that led to you shooting this documentary.
Well, Niall obviously did a lot more than just introduce me to Panty. Niall is almost a co-creator of Panty as a figure. But through our mutual friend Oliver Stanley, who I've dedicated the film to, unfortunately passed away from HIV in 1995, who'd also been in our college with Niall and Rory. We all knew each other, and when I think the first alternative Miss Ireland came along, I was asked to do the pictures, and this then, many years later, when myself and Katie Ollie, the producer, approached Rory and said, could we possibly do a film about you? He said, well, with your background as a fashion photographer, at least I look pretty. So that was a major selling point. He also said something at that very first meeting. He said, oh, I suppose I'll do it, but you're not going to ask me to walk down the street in a robe wearing a dress now, are you? That's the last thing I'll ask you to do.
I think it's something that's touched on as well in the film, the idea that everyone knows a gay, everyone knows the local gay, but in a way, it seems almost as though Panty became Ireland's local gay. I mean, that opening sequence of her on stage in Dublin Castle with Gerry Adams and everyone's cheering her name is quite astonishing. What is it about Rory and about Panty that meant that she became such a totem of the movement, such a figurehead for change?
She's smart, which I think quite often for people is astonishing in a drag queen. Even her performances have always been clever. They've always been both filthy and politically astute. You know, I mean, and she can. Sometimes she can talk, but no, she can talk. She can deliver words. You know, and I think also there is something about this strange apparition that is a drag queen. That it's this other. It's something that it's not in your world maybe, but it does exist. It really is there in front of you, and it does. They do allow this sort of. They allow you to think differently. They allow you to say things differently, but they allow, I mean, Panty will tell you, she gets asked things or told things that people would just not say to other people. Again, I mean, like some kind of early Christian Virgin Martin, in a way, it was referred to as that, but it's this idea that there's somehow sort of magic, that they have these magic body parts that, you know, can save us from ourselves. You know, there's something in that.
And I think as well as that, there's a very canny, and I think, but also an instinctive characterization that Rory has brought to the character of Panty, which is based a little bit on his glamorous American aunt. And so the whole anti-Panty thing, like all of the baby drag queens in Dublin refer to Panty as anti-Panty. So, you know, Panty is kind of, you know, intrinsically a figure of authority and somebody to look to for guidance in a way, or look to for words of wisdom, and certainly delivers them.